You know, folks, I've been a type 2 diabetic for many years. I received type 2 diabetes via Agent Orange from Vietnam. It's been a part of my life almost after Vietnam when we came back home. I've been on medications, metformin, medications to help control my diabetes, and I've had problems with it. But I got on the MMF, and within 6 months, again, of taking it from the start to right now, my doctors have literally said that I am no longer a type 2 diabetic. I no longer have to take medicines. To me, that's life-changing. To know that maybe one day I might have to go on to insulin, everything else, I don't have to anymore. With MMF, I don't have to do this. One other thing that I want to share with you, and that's, I found out because of the military, I was on an aircraft carrier that blew up. Many lives were lost in the fire. The fire was horrendous. We fought over 6 hours to put the fire out, and then we had to go in and take those bodies out of that burning inferno after it was over. Because of it, I have what they call narcolepsy. I didn't really realize I had it, but it's a genetic disorder, and I realized that my grandfather had narcolepsy, and I never knew. But narcolepsy is where your brain goes into REM sleep, theta sleep, or REM sleep, or theta sleep, and your brain goes to sleep so it can regenerate. What happened is it went just the opposite when these emotions took place. The only way it can flip from narcolepsy to what I have now, which is cataplexy, is a severe emotion or trauma. Well, when I was on that ship and it blew up, and we had to bring those bodies out, it triggered that emotion, that problem, and it changed over to cataplexy. I didn't really realize it. About a week or two after I was on the ship, I didn't realize what was happening. But I would wake up and I would be paralyzed. I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything. And my feelings, being that young person, I thought I was being possessed. That's the only way I could describe it, is I had this horrible heavy feeling on me. I couldn't move, I couldn't talk, I couldn't do anything. Well, eventually it would go off. I didn't dare tell the doctors, I didn't dare do anything, because I thought if I told them I was possessed, which is the only thing I could think of, that they would kick me out of the military on a mental. So I kept it a secret. I never told anybody. But after I was out, I went to the hospital because it progressed into what we call REM sleep. My body goes into REM sleep. I go paralyzed. I fall. It looks just like you've shot me in the heart. I go paralyzed for 5 minutes up to 15, 20 minutes at a time. I can hear you. I can see you. But I'm totally paralyzed. I can't move a muscle. Well, that's been going on for over 38 years. And it's really interesting because I'm a hairstylist. I'm a hairstylist, and I would have these spells where I'd go paralyzed, and 5-10 minutes at a time, my customer would sit in the chair and wait for me to come around. I thought I'd get a medical alert tag that said, "Give me 5, I'll be back." Because I gave my big salon to my daughter, and we moved and built a salon onto our home in a new home that we built, this home here, where I built a hair salon on it. And my customers that know what I was going through just lived through it and let me cut their hair after I'd have these spells. If I stand longer than 5-10 minutes at a time, I could tell you I was going to fall. I was going to have a spell. Well, I get emotional when I talk about it. After 6 months of being on this product, it happened even before, but now 6 months later, I no longer have those spells. I can stand as long as I want. That catatonic state doesn't take place. Any type of emotion, even laughing too fast or too long, crying, any type of emotion can bring those spells on. I no longer have it. I am so impressed with this product, MMF, and what it can do. Many, many things are caused because we don't have the nutrients. We don't have those things that can help us, the micronutrients in our body. This here has changed my life, along with other things that I've shared with you. This thing just that one alone, if it could stop me from having those spells. I would go into the grocery stores. I'd have these spells, and they got to know me so well that they'd put wet cones around me. I mean, how would you feel having wet cones put around you, being totally paralyzed, and not be able to move? Well, it got to be almost a joke to me and my family, because my wife would step over me and make another appointment. I mean, but now, folks, I don't have this anymore. I'd like to give that testimonial to you that things can change. Problems that you have can get better. And I can't make claims, but all I can say is try it and see what it can do for you. Thank you very much.
Your background, and I mean, you're almost standing there at attention. It's just natural for him. So, Christopher.
Thank you, sir. Hello, everybody. My name's Christopher, as he said. I spent 7 years in the Army, and I spent 4.5 years at war. I was shot 3 times, blown up by a suicide bomber. I've been 5 vehicle rollover accidents, and I've been stabbed 7 times.
Holy
God has blessed me with a resilient body.
dang.
Cool. But when the Army finally did retire me, I had a major problem with depression and dealing with the injuries that I had sustained. I had a brain injury that was causing me to have seizures, and I was having a seizure probably almost once a week because of it. And I spent 475 days in the hospital at Eisenhower Medical Center in Fort Gordon, Georgia. And finally, when the decision was made to retire me, it was so hard with me to deal with not being a soldier anymore that I tried to kill myself 3 separate times, 3 years following that. Every year on the anniversary, I had tried to kill myself in violent ways, cut myself on either side. Took a knife and buried it in my throat, cut my own throat from ear to ear. And 3 months ago, I got put on the MMI, and sorry, a little nervous. But I got put on that 3 months ago, and the VA had me on a 52-pill-a-day regimen to keep my seizures down. I was on pain medications, 3 different kind of opioids. I was taking antipsychotics, antidepressants, and 3 different kinds of medication to keep me from going into convulsions for my seizures, and came off of all of it, not on any of it any longer. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Thank you, Chris. What a pleasure, and thanks for serving.
Over the embarrassment part because I've shared it with so many people, so hopefully you guys don't get uncomfortable and squirm in your seats. But I am 28 years old, and my entire life I only go to the restroom like twice a month on a good month, and that's always been how it was. And people are like, don't you feel fatigued and sick all the time? I'm like, no, that's how it is. I'm fine. And I've always been told you should go once a day. That's what's healthy. You're going to die of cancer. And I'm like, well, I don't go once a day, but I don't think I'm going to die of cancer. And so lately, or about a year ago, people really started getting concerned. And my friend Brittany, I think she was losing sleep at night over the fact that I was only going to the bathroom about twice a month. I didn't care, but she was like really, really stressed about this. And so we were at the Dr. Mom's store, and she testified right there with Brittany, you should be going at least once a day. And I'm like, okay, fine. So my friend Brittany went on this quest to get me to go to the bathroom. And I'm telling you, I tried everything, things that I don't even want to talk about. I tried, and nothing worked. And it was just this big mystery, like, well, where's it going? You just ate a foot-long sub, and it's going to take months for that to happen.
Oh my gosh.
So I went to this doctor, and he did this test on me and found out that my intestines and my colon both were not functioning at all. Like, they didn't move, there was nothing, they just were dead. He said I had a dead digestive system, And with more testing, he said that it was from my immunizations as a baby, my DPT shot when I was 2 months old. I got sick, and then he said often when you get immunizations, you get, kind of sick, but then the babies, their bodies kickstart back up, and then they're fine. That's why they're cranky and they have a fever, because it's, a lot for their little bodies to handle, and then they get over it, they're fine. Well, mine didn't get over it, it didn't get fine. So it killed my digestive system, and that's how it's been the rest of my life. Well, Brittany came to me with MMF, and she's like, you have to try this, I heard it makes people poop. And I love her, so I took it just to humor her, because I thought nothing is going to work. I've been told it's dead. If it's dead, it doesn't. I took a handful of every kind of, as a last-ditch effort, a handful of just every Dr. Christopher laxative, senna, anything you can imagine, and I chased it down with castor oil and prune juice. Nothing happened. And so I thought, okay, if that doesn't help me, nothing's going to. This is my life. I have to have basically a raw diet or I'm going to get sick. So I did that, and so I just accepted that this was my life. So when Brittany was like, here, this will help, I'm like, okay. So I took it, and the first day, nothing happened. The next day I went to the bathroom, and I was like, it's been almost 3 weeks, I'm due. So maybe that was just and just, but then the next day I went again. And the next day I went again. And sometimes 2 times, and sometimes 3 times. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. And it's been like that every day since. And I'll feel like this moving stuff. And I said to my husband, I'm like, Joe, I feel like stuff moving in my lower abdomen. And he goes, honey, that's called digestion. And I'm like, oh, I've never felt digestion before. And so it was kind of exciting. Because once food passed my stomach, I was like, not numb, I didn't have numbness, but I never felt anything after that. So this is amazing. I had a problem that was big. I was diagnosed with dead colon, dead intestines, that it could not be brought back. And then after a couple days of taking MMF, my body regenerated itself. It fixed my DNA, and so I'm just so amazed that this product does this. And I just think of it as the building blocks that our body needs to heal itself. Because I hear all the different stories and we see all the different things. It's like, well, how does it fix their arthritis and their this and their this? And it's not a magic pill. It's just amazing nutrients that our body wants to fix itself. It can fix itself if we give it the right building blocks. And that's what MMF is. It's the building blocks that our body needs to fix itself. And I'm so, so grateful for MMF. Oh my goodness, I have a 2-year-old and a 9-month-old, and I don't have to take naps. I just thought I wasn't a morning person. I'm like, I'm just not a morning person, and now I'm up at 6 before they are, and I'm running and I'm exercising. Exercise is don't talk to me about that. Don't ask me to run with you in the morning because I want to be sleeping. But now I get up every morning, I go running, and it's amazing, and I feel like I could stay up all night, and I do. I have a ton of energy, and I thought I had energy before, but I didn't, apparently, and now I do. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Get out of bed. Every time I tried to get up and get out of bed, my feet would just kill me. It's like walking on golf balls. I've been in the fire service for 30 plus years as a firefighter. And to be able not to do that, it was devastating, because I couldn't function to serve people the way I want to until this product came around. My neuropathy is so bad that when I'd go to bed at night, I couldn't put any covers on my feet because it hurt so bad it about bring me into tears. After 3 days of being on MMF, my neuropathy left. I haven't had a bit of it since. I can sleep at night. I don't have to hang my feet over the edge of the bed because it hurts so bad. When I get up in the morning, I just jump out of bed and go. And I got so much more energy that it's good to be alive again, because along with the neuropathy, depression. Depression is a killer. We know that already. I would get up in the morning and sit in my chair. Lauren would come home that night and I'd still be sitting there. I hadn't moved. I was so down that I just couldn't function. Now I'm a changed person. I like to get up and do things. I'm not pouring concrete now, which I could never do a while back. And Lauren and I are getting along much, much better because my attitude has changed. And along with that, I had a sciatic nerve problem that was another episode that I couldn't drive from Leeds to St. George without hurting. Well, that left too. I can drive a whole 100 miles.
I'm going to have you go ahead and hand the mic to Lorna.
Okay. You don't want to hear this?
No, you do want to hear this, and this is what brought us to tears.
I really don't know what he expects me to say, but I was ready to leave. I had had all of Bailey that I could take. No, seriously. He was blah. He would, like you said, he would get up in the morning, he'd sit in his chair, he'd turn on the TV, and he would stay there all day long. And we had no life. We went nowhere. We talked to nobody. We didn't even talk to each other. And it was serious. It was really serious. I'd already made my plans to go to Colville and live with my daughter. And it was a done deal. And then I said to him one day, "What is wrong here?" And he says, I'm just so frustrated. I just don't know what to do. And then he got started on this, and I'll be forever thankful for Dave. And he is a different man. I've been waiting for 5 years for this cement to get poured. But with me also, I've been working 3 jobs, and I have a pretty high energy level as well. But I also am getting old, and I have all the aches and pains that go with being old. I've had hip problems, I've had arthritis, I've had all of these other things. And it's amazing. After 2 weeks, all my aches and pains are gone. I used to be able to lay in bed at night. I'd lay on one hip for a while, and pretty soon it'd start to hurt, so I'd have to lay on the other side. Now I can just stay in the same position all night long. It's amazing. And we have so many people in our family that we're anxious to get this to because of asthma and ADHD and behavioral problems and so many other things. But we're really excited about this because we can see that it works. We know that it works. It's an answer to our prayers.
Thank you.